this is Stamping Songbird, and today I'm going to share these tags with you again because we're going to make one together. So these are the tags that I shared in a previous video that I made using lots of Ranger and Tim Holtz products like Distress inks, some of his Thinlit dyes, some of his colorized dyes, some of the wafer thin flower sets that are layering sets like these beautiful poinsettias, and his tags. This particular last flower here, this anemone, is not from Tim Holtz, it is from HoneyBee Stamps. So here are the tags that I used. They are from Ranger and Tim Holtz. They measure 6 1/4 by 3 1/4. They're pretty large tags, and they are mixed media tags, so you can use lots of different products on them. So it's the same on both sides. I'm going to use this really old Stampin' Up paper, which is really cute. It's got these cute mermaids on it, but I love the green side of it. I already went ahead and I traced the shape of the tag on that paper, cut it out so that I can cover my tag on the front and the back. And you don't have to use paper. You can actually just use some stencils and create some patterns on the tag itself. I'm using this Distress mica flakes or mica stain from Tim Holtz, and these are fantastic because they gives it an antique look. And here is the seasonal, it escapes me, the name escapes me, seasonal something dyes. These are the poinsettias that I'm using, and they're absolutely beautiful. So here I just put them on some magnetic paper, and that's how I store them. I'm also going to use this cute Sizzix Sidekick, which is like a mini version of an embossing machine or a cutter, and that comes in handy when you have little dies. I'm also going to use some Copic markers in reds and greens, and I'm using this Tim Holtz Ideology chipboard, which is an old Christmas set I had for a very long time. So first I'm going to cover the tag front and back with this beautiful paper, and I am using my Art Institute glitter glue. First, I have to take off that little round thing. It's kind of like I don't know if you remember when you use loose leaf, so it would like protect the hole, reinforce the hole. That's probably what it was called. Can't remember. So I ripped that off so that it wouldn't be bumpy, and then I'm just gonna recreate one so that I can add to the top of the green paper. So here I have adhered my pattern paper, and I'm using a crocodile to punch through to make sure that the pattern paper has the same hole as the original tag. Next, I'm going to recreate that reinforcer, I guess it's called, that hole reinforcer, using the crocodile to create that first circle and then a circle punch around it to create that. Next, I am using some Distress Oxide inks in different greens. This one is let's see, I think that one is Peeled Paint, which is very olivey. I really like it. It looks a lot like the tag itself, and it looks like it's covering all of those lines, but it's really not. You can actually see it in person. So what it does is just give the tag a little richer of a green color. And then I'm going to layer on top of that some darker greens. So this is a darker green. Can't remember the name of this one. Sorry about that. It is a darker green, and then I think I use ground espresso, yes, to add a little more antique look or dirty look around the edges of the tag. So I'm doing all this work to make it look like it's old, to make it look like it's antique. And again, you can still see the patterns on the paper even underneath all of that oxide ink. So I'm just sponging the edges to make sure that you don't see the manila color underneath. This really makes a huge difference. So now it looks a little vintage, right? A little old. So I'm gonna add some mica stain or mica spray all over it, and that also gives it more of an antique-y, rusty kind of look. That first one was a green, and this next one is a copperish, and I'm not adding the copper in too many places. So now I'm just gonna dry these with my heat tool, because it's important for it to be dry before you move on to the next step. There you can see the difference between the original pattern paper and what the mica stain and oxide inks does. Or do, excuse me, bad English. So here are the dyes again. I'm gonna run these through my Sizzix Sidekick, and that's meant to stay still on the table. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes it comes loose. But these fit perfectly on this teeny tiny little paper. I think this is like a 2.5 inch wide, I want to say, maybe 3. And I'm able to fit 2 of the bigger dies here. I'll sandwich those in between and then just run it through the little Sidekick. Okay, so here are all the pieces cut out using the dies. I'm just punching through some of these because they are meant to sort of frame or give kind of like a lace look on top. So here I am coloring with an R89, I believe, reddish burgundy marker, Copic marker. And you could use colored paper and then use a Copic marker on top just to give it a little more depth, which I've done before, but this time I decided to just use white paper. So I've colored the leaves as well, and now I am spraying those with some of the mica stain or mica sprays to also give it an antique look. I'm gonna add some of the copper as well, and then put the pieces together. Now this particular tag is a little more simple than the tags that I shared in the beginning. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm just trying to dry the pieces that I just sprayed. And here are the pieces already dried. You can see that layered look on top. Has a really nice outline, kind of a lacy look. And now I will attach the piece for the leaf. So I'm putting all of the pieces together to create the entire flower. Some of my glue is visible now, but it will dry clear. Doesn't that look pretty? Oh my gosh, I really love this flower. So I'm just gonna flip over my cardstock. I'm just using that to protect my mat. And I'm gonna grab the Ideology chipboard from Tim Holtz, which is a Christmas set. I'm gonna grab 3 sentiments and then just decide which one I want. So we have Peace on Earth, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, and Merry and Bright. And I'm going to choose, I think, one of the shorter ones. So here I have this gold twine or string. It's a little stretchy. I'm just gonna put that underneath the flower. And then choose Merry and Bright. Okay. So before I actually attach it, I realized that it was a little too bright for me. So I'm just gonna stain that with one of the brushes that had green on it. Okay, so my tag is pretty much prepared. Now I'm just gonna lay these things down one more time just to make sure that this is how I want it. And then I'll proceed to attach them. But I decided to add some of that gold twine or gold string to the top as a makeshift ribbon. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now I just need to attach the leaves to the flower part, which I forgot to do before. And that will complete the flower just about. And then I'll just add that onto the front of the tag. Again, this one is pretty simple compared to the other ones. I'm just going to wind up that string again to put at the bottom. And my idea was to have it sort of like a lasso effect, but it didn't really work out that way. It kind of kept spreading out, but it still looks good in the end. So I'm gonna place the flower towards the center of the tag and right above the sentiment Merry and Bright. I just love the way this looks so antique-y. I really wanted to do some splashes of black paint, but I didn't have any black acrylic paint, so I need to purchase some. I only had white. And in keeping with the antique look, I didn't want to use too much white. So I just used some of the Nouveau Crystal drops in a gold color and sort of like a pearl color. And then I threw in a little bit of black dots in there as well. And I think that that just gave it enough of the effect that I was looking for. It's also a way to fill in any empty space. And my tag is done. Very, very simple, but it looks antique-y. So I'm just gonna show you in comparison to the others. There, that's the one with the same flowers. I really think it came out nice. In retrospect, I think I would have added some black soot to the edges to give it even more of an antique feel, or even just some intense black ink. And then I think I would have been 100% satisfied, but I'm about 90% satisfied with the way this tag looks. I think it looks perfectly fine and goes in line with all the other ones that I've already done. So this is going to be my Christmas tag or tags in lieu of Christmas cards this year. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that this inspires you to create some tags with Tim Holtz products, Ranger products, HoneyBee stamp products, and Copic markers, or whatever products you happen to have at home or are your favorites. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye-bye.